Welcome back to part 2 of our live training session here with our K24 swapped Civic Si. This training module we're going to explore taking a look at getting the engine to fire up and run, dialing out our idle control, as well as fuel and spark timing at idle. We have a lot to cover. Let's jump in so we can check this out. Welcome back to our live training session here with our K24 swapped Civic Si. In this training module, we're going to go ahead and upload the base file that we built in our previous tutorial to the Elite. We're going to go do a basic sensors check. We're going to go and get our startup, cranking fuel, and our idle control all sorted out so that the engine is able to crank and fire and hold its own idle. This is the very first step in the calibration process. We need to have a stable idle that's repeatable so we can move into doing things like our part throttle tuning or even wide open throttle tuning. Now we're going to be mixing in here in the tutorial, working with a timing light to check our base sync or the offset value. This is going to make sure that when we command 10 degrees from the Elite here, that we're going to see 10 degrees at the engine. We don't want to mismatch. We need to verify that position with a timing light. It's a relatively straightforward process, and I'll be getting into that a little bit later once we have a stable idle and the engine's actually running. The very first thing we're going to have to do here is load the file that we built in that last video to the Elite. So let's go through that process. I'm sitting in my vehicle right now. My ignition key is off. I have the USB cable plugged into my laptop, plugged into the Elite. So we're in the offline mode. What we're going to do here is power on the vehicle, powering on the Elite. That's going to do an auto connection. It's going to connect immediately to the Elite. Now there's some file that's loaded into the Elite already. We're going to go ahead and import our file that we built in our last tutorial to the Elite, and then we'll go through that sensors check. So let's go ahead and try this real quick. So I'm going to go ahead and power on real quick. And we should find that it's going to be auto detecting the device here any minute. There we go. We can see it's already prompting up to go through here. Let's just give that a second, allow that to connect. Now we're going to find it has connected. So the very first thing we're going to do is go up into File, and then we're going to go in here to Import Upload. And we want to go ahead and upload that file that we built already. Now if we go down here and look at our various different options, we should find here that we have our EPA EP3 K24 Civic. We're going to go ahead and select our base cal as the file that we want to go and import to the Elite. So let's go here to Open, and then it's going to open up my window here for the upload or import process. Let's give this a second here. And then what we're going to do here is just do upload all. So it's going to upload everything from the file that we have open, the base file, into our Elite. We want every aspect uploaded. So we're going to use this upload all option. Just give this a second. And now it's going to be bringing all of that data into the Elite. Now, this takes a little bit of time, 30 seconds, 60 seconds. It should complete the process. Let's be patient and allow this to complete. Okay, so it just finished doing that writing all settings option. We need to go ahead and do a reboot or a power cycle. I could cycle the ignition key or just simply hit that button there. So if I jump in here to my fuel tuning page, for example, we're going to be finding ourselves with that calibration file, again, that we built in the last tutorial, upload it now into our Elite. This is the VE table that we built in that last tutorial. We can see that it has the RPM scaled to 8,500, and we're going up to only 0 PSI and our manifold pressure. Now, let's do a basic sensor check. There's one particular sensor right off the bat here that we have to calibrate, and that's going to be our throttle position sensor. That needs to be done every time you have a fresh installation, whether it can be cable-driven throttle body or drive-by-wire throttle. We need to calibrate the throttle position sensor, or sensors if you're drive-by-wire, in order to make sure the Haltech's going to understand your 0 and 100% movement and anywhere in between. It's a linear scale. The 0% is incredibly important for things like idle control or overrun fuel cut. It needs to be able to track an accurate lift throttle or 0% throttle movement, and even going from 0 to 1. It's very, very important that that's going to be tracking properly. We need to make sure that it's calibrated right. Now, if we look here real quick, we're going to find, just doing some basic sensor overview, that we're going to see that our map pressure showing approximately 0 PSI with key on engine off. Now I'm approximately at sea level here. I'm a little bit above sea level, about 400 feet above. That is going to be accurate in terms of our map pressure reading for approximately sea level conditions. Throttle position right now, we can see it's 0. If I go ahead and get on the throttle, it goes all the way to 100. Now this exact scale here from 0 to, I'm actually pushing on the throttle right now, it's actually not picking it up. Right there, it starts to pick up. There's a pretty large dead band. It's not actually tracking to that 0%, so 0 to 1, 2, 3% movement. It's not tracking it properly, which is a big deal because it can create major drivability problems. So we want to go ahead and calibrate that here. That's one of the first things we're going to do. Now, looking here throughout some of the other parameters, we have our wideband air fuel reading. This is from an AEM X series wideband. It's reading full lean, which it should, because we have no combustion established with the engine yet. So this measures how much oxygen content is in our exhaust stream. If we have no combustion, obviously it's going to show that it's full lean. It has the maximum oxygen that's in the exhaust stream. So no combustion. That's what it should read, so that's good. Looking down here a little bit further, we're seeing the injector flow rate is showing about 406 cc per minute. We're finding the injector pressure differential showing 42.4 psi. We see the fuel pressure showing 42. Thanks for checking out our teaser clip. If you want to see the rest of this video and more than 500 hours of current EFI training we have to offer, make sure you click right here. If you want to go and check out more teaser clips from this training course, click here. And you don't want to miss any of the videos we're going to be releasing on this channel, so make sure you subscribe and click here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.